Hello everybody and welcome back to One True Theory, where today we're delving back into Deltarune. Now, in my first Deltarune theory, I surmised that the entirety of Deltarune was basically like an origin story for the series' most evil character, Kara. And I still hold steadfast to that theory, but I'd like to add a little bit more now that I've been focusing on some more aspects of the game after playing it through a second time. So, in the game, whenever you're fighting the final boss, the Spade King, he makes mention of a character called the Knight. The Knight who showed him the way, who gave him the Fountain of Darkness, who inspired him to overturn the world of light in favor of the Darkners. And you hear this Knight character get mentioned 2 other times. One, by the old shopkeep, a little bit later on, and 2, by a boss character known as Jevil, who is locked away in a prison inside the castle. The secret boss fight I'm sure you've all seen already. They all make mention of a knight that showed them the way, that gave them greater insight on everything, and basically let them know that what they were doing before was meaningless. In some cases, it's very extreme, like with Jevil, where he's completely bonkers crazy because that boy knows he's in a video game and knows nothing matters. To a more moderate approach with the Spade King, where he just wants to completely usurp the entire foundation of the world that he's in. To more smaller cases like the distinct nihilism that Sham has, how he just doesn't really care anymore. Now, the Knight, I think we can all agree, is probably most definitely Kara. But why do they refer to Kara as a knight? Well, I believe that the knight version of Kara is the original version that is still in possession of Chris's body from the world of darkness. Because notice how you only run into one knight in the whole of Deltarune. And that one knight-esque character is your character, Chris. Now, if you watched my last theory, you would know that I believe that eventually the plot of Deltarune is going to bring all 3 of our main characters back to the world of darkness, where they're going to have some sort of final bout. Now, in traditional timelines, I believe that this bout went very unfavorably in the forces of good, and Kara ended up winning, destroying that universe and going about their way. And I think this is pretty much going to follow suit, because the knight is a Kara-possessed Frisk from the world of darkness. So basically, the whole of Deltarune is a paradox in and of itself. It's a story of how Chris gets possessed by Kara, goes on a killing spree to kill a bunch of worlds, goes back in time to make sure that Chris gets possessed by Kara, and it just keeps going in a circle, in a circle, in a circle. And I believe it goes about this way because it sticks with the game's main theme, which is choice, or the lack thereof. And since Toby Fox has not been shy of steering away from time travel stories, such as with his Earthbound hack or with Undertale in general, how they explicitly mention other timelines, like with characters such as Sans or Flowey, I think that this isn't an unreasonable direction to go in. And it can be even more powerful because the point of Deltarune can then be to try to break the paradox, to make the choices matter again. And I don't know, I'd be surprised if it went any other way. But those are just my thoughts. So what do you guys think? Do you think that the whole of Deltarune is a paradox and that Kara is the foretold knight that is just constantly rehashing the cycle over and over again? Or do you think the inner workings of my brain is a paradox and I should, kind of stick away from Deltarune for now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And in the meantime, remember, every video is a party, and you're all invited to the next one. Thank you. Have a good night.